afternoon, everyone. I'm whispering right now, but just wait. In 1 second, I'm going to say something. Do you hear all the noise in the background right now? We, once again, have a live studio audience up here in the retreat center, quilting away, working on projects. But guess what time it is? It's Take Home Tuesday time at 2, and we are live once again to you. Guys, you keep on working. You didn't even know we started while you were already chatting, and we loved it. So you keep on working. Let us hear those sewing machines humming, and we are having so much fun. It is a rainy day here in central Iowa. If you watched our bingo call earlier today, you had me. Sorry, you get me twice. Sorry, not sorry, I guess, because it really wasn't my choice. You just have to have me. But you heard me tell that it's a rainy day. Perfect day for our retreaters to be up here retreating. Wonderful day for you to be creating something, having fun, enjoying. Maybe you're doodling, maybe you're designing a quilt, maybe you're hand stitching, maybe you're just enjoying some quiet time reading a book. Whatever it is, we hope you're enjoying your day, but we have a project for you today. Now, fair warning on this. This is a little bit longer than some of the projects that we've given to you, so we try to vary it just like we do with our Stash Busters, some that are shorter, some that are bigger, some that are smaller, all those sorts of things. And this project idea is not my idea. It came from Heidi's mom, Sherry, so I know she's watching, and you guys, you can just tell from Heidi how much creativity runs with them and that family, but this is all her. She set everything up, and it's an absolutely fabulous idea. Easy for you to do with kids, yourself. And I don't know, you can probably see some of it laying here. We're using some canvas. If you've been in any store lately, it seems like canvas in pillowcases is very popular. So that's where we're kind of headed today. But we would love to see you come up with your own creative ideas and what you can do as you're creating other things. And I love my studio audience. I'm going to say hello. We want them. You know what? I just might have to bring them on film if they're not careful. They may be a guest pretty soon. Excuse me. So today, the items that I need are some canvas, and purchase at a home improvement store. The painting canvas, any home improvement store. It is a rather inexpensive item to purchase. You might even notice that the edges are fraying, and that's exactly what we want them to do. Difference in when we're quilting, we don't like the fraying edges. In these projects and with canvas, that is one of the things that we like this for. So I need that. I need some watercolors, obviously the paintbrushes and the water to go with them. From there, I just need my mind and my creativity. And Sherry has done a fabulous job, and we loved every single one of hers. So I'm going to show you one of her finished projects and her ideas first. Again, great for holidays, Mother's Day, even just a bedroom. But this is a bright, cheery on a living room. So this one was when she took hearts, and when she created this hearts, and we're going to go through step by step, but this is just to give you an idea of the direction we're headed. And for the shape, it was simply a cookie cutter. Okay, that she got the shape from, and she put four in them. Of course, you could do it as, you can use the hearts and make it a flower with the points at the center. You guys are all creative, and you can come up with so many ideas. But this is where we're headed with this project, okay? And we're okay with the fraying on the edges. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do today is we're actually going to use an Easter bunny. And so this little bunny came from a coloring book. You could find any shape, size that you want. It could be anything, you know, stars, moon for a bedroom, gosh, your initials, different holidays, maybe a 4-leaf clover. That would be appropriate for my kids who actually do collect 4-leaf clovers and press them. You guys have ideas, you share them with each other, you come up with your own things, and please show them. But I'm just simply cutting out this bunny that was traced. So we put it on a piece of paper, we're cutting around it, and then we're going to transfer or outline this bunny onto our canvas front. Now, we are using permanent marker when we do this because we are coming back with watercolor over it. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to lay down, I'm going to unpin this for a second here. My bunny kind of center on my pillow here. And hopefully you can kind of start to see the idea of what we're doing here. I don't know if you can see it from the camera view or not, but I'm going to take my bunny And I'm just going to trace around him or her, whichever you want, with a permanent marker. Now you could use whatever you wanted to trace around it, but do remember you're coming back with watercolor, and actually at the end, we like to take some other colors to give it some definition. So here's my bunny already starting on my canvas. He's already cute. I could leave him like that if I wanted to. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to, excuse me, I have a tickle my throat. I'm just going to pick, oh. Excuse me, this is what happens on live TV or live video. I'm getting all choked up about this project. I'm so excited. I'm going to come back and I'm going to put some pink on. And I want to come in and just give my bunny some pink little ears. And of course, the more water you use, the thinner your coloring will be. So you want it to be kind of have some nice coloring to it. And I don't know about you, but as a child, I love to watercolor and get some different things. And of course, this is live TV, live video, whatever you want to call it. So as we're coming in here and doing stuff, we know it may not be the perfect and it may not end up how I really wanted it, but this is more just to give you the idea of what I'm doing. Think tie-dye even as you're going through here. Then you could start tie-dyeing, or you could put blotches on with different paints, different colors. You could even take any white fabric you wanted to and just make it like a big tie-dye type thing. Same thing as this. But I'm just coming back and I'm just painting some of my bunny in. Now there probably might be a question about, what about watercolor on fabric? Is that something that's going to last? Couple things for you to think about. There is what we call a watercolor or a fabric medium you would want clear that you could come back in after you've finished your project and coat over it. And then of course you always want to heat press. Whether you or not you use it, I would say as you're going with it, as you're creating, you want to keep in mind what your usage is for this. So if I was creating something I was wearing, watercolor on fabric may not be the best idea to have. But if I'm creating something that I'm putting on a couch that I'm probably not going to be washing very much, then it's probably okay. So you can see I'm coming in here and I'm adding, and it's okay to get variants. And in fact, I get a little picky here as I get going, because I like to add some shading. But we won't get the whole project done, but you can see I'm starting to get my bunny. Now, do I care if I go out the lines or if it goes out a little bit? Not on this one. It's time that you can color outside the line if you want to. And it's okay if that color goes out further and kind of spreads, because we're actually going to come back in after we get some stuff and add, kind of give it some dimension by stitching around it and adding some things out. I would come in and add some other little shading in here just because I kind of think that's fun to do. And we can keep going with that, but we're going to keep moving right ahead. So do you get the idea of what we're doing with this? Could be a great project, a lot of fun, and super cute. Now, my bunny's getting filled in, but I really think, again, you can stop or start where you want to, but I would think you would want to come back in and add some grass along the bottom. And again, we can just take it and literally start filling in where we want the little grasses to be. So I'm just dropping them on there. Did anybody watercolor when they were little? Anybody do that with their kids when they write the hidden message in white crayon and then have them come back in and watercolor it later? So I'm just coming back in and see, I started to add some little grass at the bottom. Again, this isn't going to be completed today. My masterpiece that you all will want an autographed copy of, I'm sure, will not be completed. But this is, again, just to give you some ideas of things you could do. Oh, I can see people, Heidi, already, couldn't you just see people coming in, putting little flowers in here?
Absolutely.
Adding some maybe Easter eggs or some different things. So you could start creating all you want. My bunny's on all the way finished, but getting the idea, right? Okay? So when I get done painting whatever it is I want to paint, here's where some more fun comes in. Remember we said, it's okay if you go outside the line on this. It's okay if the water or the colors kind of seep out. When you get done with this, I'm going to go to the next, come back to the pillow that was finished, and I want you to notice on this now, how the color is not within the line. So now can you pay a little bit closer attention and see how some of that coloring is outside of the line? It adds character, it adds some dimension to what it is. Now as you're looking at that, I want you to notice, and it might be a little hard, but see these colored lines here? Some of it is the marker, but also Sherry came back in and she stitched randomly with on her sewing machine with some colors, and I could do the same with my bunny rabbit. I could use white, I could use black, I could use brown, and stitched around it. But look, it's not perfect. Do you see that? And it's like you don't even want it to be perfect on this. You want it to have that character and that dimension. So she went around it a couple times with some stitching on her machine to give it another little layer of effect. And then even further around the whole thing, she went around it with a matching or the cream colored thread for the heart. Are you able to see that at all as I'm showing it on there?
Yes.
Okay, so that's just a good thing. Like so many times, including me, I'm all about, oh, I didn't do that perfect, or that doesn't look good. This is a perfect example of why it's okay not to be within the lines and not to be exactly perfect. Beautiful project, beautiful finish to it. Okay, so that's what we're working on. So again, I would come in, whatever shape I wanted to, trace it on, start with my watercolors, put it in. If I want it to be very, very waterproof, I can give it a heat press. In fact, I would recommend giving a heat press even if you're not using the fabric medium, just to set those colors in. Pigmented colors from any of your art supply stores, the clear fabric medium would be, and the directions on that would be available there. On the watercolors, I'm going to tell you your better expensive, doesn't have to be top of the line, but Prismacolor is one of, I think, the brands that have a little bit more pigment in them versus like your Crayola brand that maybe doesn't, is you're going to get more dimension with your fabric paints on there. Of course, you could always use acrylic paints too and water them down, and then you already have it heat pressed and ready to go. Okay? Good so far, everybody? All right, so then when we came back, so I'm going to show you another one that Sherry started for us here. And this one is so cute too. Just the simple circles in different sizes. And you can see she used different colors of permanent marker. And again, if it bled a little bit, it was okay. Now, to add some dimension on this, before, and this is another choice that you could have, we took a square piece of batting before we sewed around on that other one. So on this one, I would take that square piece of batting, I would actually stitch it from this side so I could make my square. Make sense? I would stitch it from the wrong side so that on the front of the pillow I would have the square outlining the batting, which you're not really seeing. It's just adding another little character, and when you're stitching around your circles, it gives it maybe just a little bit more of a definition. So on this one, I could come back and stitch different colors. I could stitch in the middle of the circle. I could stitch outside the circles. I could make a big outline all the way around them. Again, the creativity is up to you. Isn't that fun? I think of the teachers at school even that have the little couches, the reading rooms, or the couches, things like that could be. Okay, so then after this, so we've painted, we've traced, we've painted. We've come back in, we've stitched if we want to add the batting on the back. Don't have to, it's just another choice of yours. We've stitched around our shape a couple times in different colors if we want, maybe added some outlining to it and stitching it that way too. The finishing thing we need to do is we're actually going to make an envelope for a pillow to slide into. So I'm going to put my right sides together. You've heard this so many times. My right sides, oh, I'm sorry, on this one I'm putting my right sides out. You've heard it the other way. I'm such in a habit of doing this. We're doing it our right sides out because we're leaving that edge, that frayed edge. And if you keep checking back, I think we're going to keep talking about some different canvas ideas throughout the next few months because it's very trendy in the decorating stores, but it's also very cost-effective and fun project to work with. So then I would come in and I would determine whatever my pillow form is, and that's how I figured out my canvas size. I'm going to stitch an inch or two in, depending again on my pillow, and I'm going to stitch around 3 edges. So 1, 2, and 3. So I'd stitch up have my, or bottom, whichever one you want to leave open, one side would be open. I'm going to slide my pillow in, and then I'm going to come back in, and you can hand stitch across. If you're really talented and want to try, you can put it on your machine and go across that way as well. So again, I will show you here on this one. If we look close enough on this, you can see where there's that square stitching around the outside where the batting was. Then we came back here, we made the pillow form case with 3 stitchings. And then on the bottom, when the pillow was inserted, we stitched one, and this one was hand stitched across the bottom. And then I believe came back in and added just another layer of stitching around the edges just for the fun of it. Okay? Again, does it matter if it frays? Absolutely not. That's what gives it some of the character and the fun of it. Okay? So this great idea, so much fun. Cute little throw to add on your kids' beds or in your living room. Great little present. Oh, I could think of so many ideas. Can you think of some ideas? That's the most important thing. And the most important thing is some cute ideas. What can you come up with? You know, what about if you're working with your kids, or maybe what about some handprints? Or I've seen different things where they take the handprints and they layer them, like dads, moms, and then the kids coming up. What could you do with some of those things? What could you do with some of the different holidays? What could you do with different family members' names? I can't wait to hear some of your ideas, to see some of your creative ideas. So as always, our goal here on Take Home Tuesday is to give you a fun project, make you creative, think of something fun that you can do, and especially on a rainy day like today, that you can sit down and have some fun. Perfect for kids, perfect for people of all ages to do. So questions, comments, ideas, anybody? Are you sharing with us what you have going on? Okay, so as always, remember, every Tuesday at 2, we're here at Take Home Tuesday. If you have missed us live, go back to henandchickstudio.com, pick up on any of the past episodes under Inspiration tab, Take Home Tuesday. Lots of fun things going on here at Hen and Chick Studio, and we're always so thrilled to have you join us. It means a lot to us to be able to share and inspire you. You, in turn, inspire us back. So share with us and have a great day. Be creative.